everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Nintendo Fanboys. And if we sound a little bit different, there's a couple of things going on. Steven, actually, I owe him huge kudos because I'm actually at work right now recording this because he's available at night, but unfortunately at this time of the year is the absolute worst for me. I'm literally... I get home, we have team meetings where we're working on different presentations and stuff like that, only for the next like 2 to 3 weeks. And the problem is, like, after that I just hit the sack like immediately. You'll notice that my voice still sounds a little bit weird, and that's because it takes me forever to get over a cold now because I can't rest. So it kind of sucks. But so thank you, Stephen. That was mighty kind of you to bend your schedule around so that we could actually do this, because it's so much better doing these podcasts with someone than doing them by yourself. I hate doing solo podcasts. It's just never as interesting.
No, you're right. They usually aren't. And I just wanted to mention that I found it funny how you call this Nintendo Fanboys. I thought it was Nintendo Fanboys by how you call these on YouTube now.
I fixed that, didn't I?
I don't think you did, actually.
No, don't say that. Yeah, that's so embarrassing.
I don't think you did. I even blasted you in the comments. And mind you, I can fix that at any time. But
But of course he doesn't.
I just laugh because a normal person
would
would take like 2 seconds to just reread his title, but who
I
has
do.
time for that?
God damn it.
Because it happens so many times. I remember how many times you wrote Canadian gamers instead of Canadian.
Yeah. Hey man, I take pride in my work.
As you should. So how has it been going?
Oh man, got a cold last week that literally just like kicked my ass. Honestly, I was so out of it. I don't even remember what happened last week. I was so out of it. The MBA is coming to an end for this semester. Like I said, about 2 weeks of class left, then 1 week off, and then an exam. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then I've got 10 days of total freedom, and then I'm off to Japan, man. I'm going to the motherland. I'm going to Vietnam. I'm going to Singapore, Malaysia, and then I'm ending the trip with 7 days in Japan. And at Japan, I'm going to spend I think a day in Tokyo. Then I'm going to Osaka. Then I'm going to go to Kyoto, and then circle back to Tokyo, and then come back to Montreal.
Nice.
Oh, I can't wait. Honestly, can't wait. It's going to be brutal. Like the 10 days that I'm with the school is going to be probably hell. It really is, no joke. It's going to be like murder because you're going from one company to another company. You have to talk about like different business cases and stuff like that. It's madness, dude. So as of right now, I think I'm 24, 25, something like that, hours into Dragon Quest 6, but it's on pause now. Like I can't. Every waking moment, I'm literally working on presentations and stuff. So haven't really been playing anything. Over like when I get that break, I'm gonna pump out a review for Dragon Quest 5 and Dragon Quest 6. I'm gonna do both because I'm right at the end. I'm just level grinding vocations, I think is what they're called in Dragon Quest. I always forget, but classes basically. I'm just not leveling, but if you remember in Dragon Quest 6, the class system is the number of battles that you do.
Yeah. So, it's very similar to 7, actually. But
it's funny you say that, dude. I was going to ask you that. Thank you for mentioning that. So it is number-based in 7?
Yeah, but it's a bit more complex in 7. But like I'm not the expert here. Maybe I'm full of shit. But I think... even in 6, it's not exactly battle-based because I remember if you go back to the beginning of the game and you do like low-level enemies, it won't count. So
that's right.
There's some kind of
no. This I know. So basically, you have to be.
But it is like battle.
You're
right.
So because I just did in the latest episode of Let's Play Dragon Quest X, which will air in like 3 weeks. I talk about saying how like I'm grinding like not levels, but I'm grinding classes, and I couldn't remember if Dragon Quest VII or Dragon Quest IX was the first one that used a level system. So just based on what you're saying, it's Dragon Quest IX. Then that was the
Mm.
first one that moved away from like the number of battles and made you basically go all the way back to level one and you grinded the level itself.
Okay.
Okay,
Well,
cool. What about you?
that's cool that you've been with me. I've decided to do a little bit of a lifestyle, minor lifestyle change in the past. I'm on my third week now. This has nothing to do with video games, but I thought I'd chit chat a bit. I've decided to cut way back on sugar. I don't know about you, but me, it's been my biggest addiction. It's been like a few years now. I drink a coffee every morning. And I always put one sugar in it, and then I'll drink an energy drink, and usually I'll drink a Pepsi or another drink at the night, and I always eat like desserts and stuff like that. I don't know why I wasn't like that before, and I've noticed lately like I have very light asthma, but it was way bad when I was a kid, but now it's mostly controlled. But I noticed that I have trouble keeping up with my kids now, and I'm only 33. Like it's like my dad, who is almost 60, is in better shape than I am.
Well, that's no
So
surprise.
yeah, so I noticed that I've talked to a few people, and basically it's everybody says that sugar these days is probably one of the worst possible. I don't know if you can call it a food, but you could ingest, because apparently it's very bad, and it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that. But I've always had a problem, especially with drinks. Like for me, the thing I enjoy the most about a supper, and it's funny, but it's a cola, a Pepsi. It goes perfectly with a supper. That's what I like the most. That's what I look forward to. So I've been cutting down on that tremendously. I did not go in cold turkey because I know that was unrealistic. So I just basically really like cut, and only like I think I had two coffees last week and stuff like that. I haven't had a pop in a few weeks, and only ate like cakes when it's on a birthday or something. So and I also discovered I think it's Eau Perrier, whatever it's called. It's like carbonated water. I don't know
Yeah,
if
yeah, yeah,
you heard about
yeah, yeah.
it. And apparently
Yep.
there I've been reading, and there's not much research on, but there doesn't seem to be any negative effect on your health. They think that maybe you get a bit too much acid stuff, whatever it is, and that's about it. So like it's not as near as delicious as a Pepsi, of course, but it does the job, because it's funny because I've never had any issues drinking just regular water. I like water. I like the taste of water, but for some reason over the last few years, I limit on my kids. I think when my kids came alive, were born, that's what I use to stress relieve, is too much sugar. And I've been cutting back, and I hope to continue along, because I've been noticing like it's not normal at my age. Like at this rate, I would have been like dead at 40 or something. It's ridiculous. And I'm not even like overweight or anything. I'm just terribly out of shape for a guy who has a job that's pretty physical. I play sports. I do all that stuff. So maybe it's that, or maybe I just have a terrible disease somewhere inside of me that I don't know of. But it's a start.
Wow, wow, that's great. Some terrible disease. Sugar is not one of my things. Never was one of my things. I have a tradition at dinner which might sound really childish and stupid, but I actually have a glass. I actually have a glass of milk with dinner. I don't know why. Started this many years ago, and I just that's it because I'm not a coffee guy in the morning. I will go, but it's not like I'm not one of these people. Oh, coffee. I've never been one of those people. So I'll go and I get a latte with no sugar, and I go every morning, but I never drink it. It's hilarious. So like I go with my colleagues, and it's like I have maybe 3 or 4 sips, and that's it. It's ridiculous. Thankfully, I don't pay for it. It's just one of these things, but it's still a waste. I don't know why the hell I do that. What else? Yeah, I'm not much of a soft drink guy either. I mean, I will have, but I have it sparingly. It's not like a daily occurrence or anything like that.
No, I don't.
So yeah, but good for you, man. That's good.
I don't know what happened for me because I wasn't. I've always loved soft drinks, but I never like ridiculous now. Like especially with the Rockstars energy drinks, those are like they probably. I think they have like the the caffeine and the sugar of 8 soft drinks in one, and
Oh my
I
gosh,
used
man.
to drink one every single day, and
Okay, well that
yeah.
I've never had an energy drink in my life. So yeah.
Well, it's a good habit. Don't start it because they're well, they're pretty addictive. For me, they are.
Uh,
Maybe not for everybody. All right. So as far as video games go, I've been playing 2 games recently. The first one I want to talk about is Final Fantasy VII for the Switch.
oh, cool.
Uh, I
I forgot
believe
about that.
I believe it came out last Friday, and this has been a game I've played back when it came out. I made it all the way to the third CD back then, but never was basically never able to continue it. And I can see why that is today because I call this a very hardcore RPG, although I know that there are way more hardcore RPGs out there. I'm not taking that away, but for me, I just can't anymore play these types of games. Even barely back then, I could. Like, it's very, very deep. Like, I took a look around at what you can do with different material that you equip, different characters you can recruit, different weapons, and etc. It seems to be a game that if you want to 100% has hundreds and hundreds of hours for you to do, and it's also not an easy game for me, at least. For most people it probably might be if you know what you're doing and you grind a lot, but for me it's just like, but there's cheats in there in that one, like they are on the PS4 version and probably on the Steam version as well, that make the game playable. So I'm going in there and I'm basically just going back on a memory lane. The story still holds up pretty good. I'll say I am really invested into the story right now. It's really fun to go back and see it. It still holds up. The team holds up today. The visuals are way better on this than they were on the PlayStation. That was a surprise to me. But the thing I hate the most is I don't know if it's because of the pre-rendered backgrounds, but it's a bitch to figure out where to go sometimes, even in a screen, because it's not clear where there's a door, where you can press A to jump, where you can go. It's not always clear, and it's pissing me off sometimes because I'll spend like 15 minutes trying to figure out only to go
Press
up,
select, dude.
press select.
Yep.
Select will tell you where to go.
Yeah, select highlights all doors,
Okay.
what is it, ladders, stuff like that. You'll get a little triangle will appear over it.
Was that in the original game too?
Yep.
Yeah, all right. I never knew that.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
a
yeah.
pretty useful
Because they
tool
they
then.
knew that it was they knew that it was not easy to know, like because they were using pre-rendered backdrops, it was hard to tell what
Yeah.
like what you can interact with. Anyway,
Well,
sorry. Go
I'm
ahead.
only 8 or 9 hours in right now, and I've just figured this out because of you, so that might help me a bit. I'm using the speed up, so obviously it's probably a lot longer than that because I'm probably just before the scene where Sephiroth kills Aerith, which I was surprised because I know that her name was changed to Aerith officially, but in this it's still called Aerith, so I guess they did not change it for the ports and whatnot. But yeah, I'm just before that scene where she gets killed, and I don't know how far I made it back then because I went to the third CD, and I believe I don't recall, but I know I made it a bit farther than that. So we'll see if I finish the game. It's still like I said, I'm mostly skipping most of the battles using the cheats, so it's not like I'm having a hard time. But we'll see if I can, because I've noticed at one point one of the guys killed me in one shot because I was like not leveled up at all, but I was able to use a restore and whatnot, get him back up. But wonder if I'll be able, even with the cheats, later on to defeat the bosses without grinding or whatnot. I think I will, but I don't know. We'll see. But it's also pretty reasonably priced compared to Final Fantasy IX, which I believe is $30. This one is only $20 on the Switch. So if if you're a fan of RPGs, I mean this seems like a pretty good deal.
What's
And
the other one?
the other one is Yoshi's Crafted World, which this one came out last Friday. Final Fantasy came out the Friday before, I believe. But Yoshi's Crafted World, oh my God, what a surprise. That game is awesome. I never expected that. I wasn't too hyped about it, but I decided to pick it up on Friday, and man, I don't regret it. I've already beat it. It's super, super fun. What I like the most about it is its visuals, and the levels are all varied, and that's something I really like. You won't play a single level. It's not like Mario where the whole world has a theme. Every level is different, and it keeps the gameplay floating, and you never get bored because of it, which is fantastic. It's not really hard per se, but if you do want to collect everything, which I don't, for some reason, I don't feel the need with this game. I don't really like collecting stuff in platformers unless it doesn't need you to like replay a level like 3 or 4 times or look at guides. Like this is a game that I know I would need to look at guides to get all of the collectibles, because I've played all the levels, and sometimes like I'm missing like more than 60% of the collectibles in a level, and like it's not easy. So, but the game is super fun, super well done, and obviously one of my sleeper hits so far this year. So was really surprised by that one, and never expected to have that much fun with Yoshi's Crafted World.
Yeah, you were telling me about it, like that it was the greatest thing since sliced bread. So that's cool. That's cool. And I concur what you say about FF7. I mean that there's a reason why you know that game is a classic. And I mean I'm not in a position to really talk much about it because I mean I'm so biased. It's incredible, right? I replayed that like 30 times, but it's it's an incredible experience to go back to when you realize what was out at the time and what was out right before it. It really puts things in perspective where you're like, this really was the next sort of generation, and it felt like it too. Just in terms of cinematics, production values, and the combat system itself is awesome. The materia system was such a wicked system. I really like, I love that game. I think that's an amazing game. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's overrated and whatever. But the fact that it's on a Nintendo system is awesome. And if I had more time, I absolutely would have gone through that game just again with, like you say, all the cheats on and stuff, just to experience it would be awesome. And for Yoshi, I plan on, that's going to be one of my games. That's one, it looks awesome, and hearing you like rave about it is certainly one that I want to go and check out. So maybe when I have my 3 months off, man, I can't wait. Truly, I can't wait. I don't even know what I'm going to do with my life. Like, I'm going to get home after work. I'm going to sit there and be like, now what? Like, I'm not used to this anymore.
Trust me, I'll give you stuff to do.
Yeah, good. I'm counting on it. So, keep going.
So that's it. I haven't been playing anything
That's it.
else.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. That's it. So the podcast is over.
Podcast
Thanks
is
for
over.
watching, everyone. All right, so you want to talk a little bit about the Nindy showcase?
Yeah.
I actually had a chance to check it out, by the way, on my way home, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's when we ended our last Fanboyz together, which was the direct of Pokemon, because that
Yep.
came right after, and it started with a bang. It started with Cuphead, and I just found it amazing because that's the game that came out like a month or two after I traded in my Xbox One, and I always not regretted it, but that's the game that I wanted to play the most on the Xbox One, and now I'll be able to experience it on my Switch, which is fantastic. Apparently, it's a very, very good game. I believe it was nominated for Game of the Year the year it came out. So, and it's awesome that Microsoft is letting. I don't know if they're publishing the game per se on Switch, but they're like letting the game come to Switch, and that's just a very very nice move from them. And I think it makes sense. There, why limit yourself to one platform? You're gonna make more money. The thing is, I think Cuphead on Switch will probably outsell the Xbox One version. So I don't know how that will look for them, but I think they don't care. They just want to sell as many copies as they want, and yeah, this is a must buy in my opinion.
Yeah, for me, it's the art. I find it incredible, the artwork. And sorry, I like I'm a huge fan of that style of animation from years and years, like from bygone era, shall we say, and it looks awesome. I can't wait to actually. This is one like definitely gonna check out. Probably gonna never be able to beat it because like I suck
Yeah, I've already
completely.
have it pre-purchased since the day it was announced, and it's already downloaded on my Switch. I'm just waiting for the
Yeah, to go live.
go live so that it. I wonder if there's a way to trick your Switch into thinking you're the correct date, but I don't think
No,
there is.
unfortunately
Yeah.
not. Yeah, no. People have tried that. What were the other ones though that you mentioned? I know the last one.
My friend Pedro, I believe I wrote down right.
Yeah, you put my friend Pedro and
That
the
looked
Red
like a
Lantern.
kick-ass like action run and gun game, which uses like Matrix style slow stuff. You can slow time and just it looked pretty cool. I don't think you I think you remember it as soon as you rewatch the trailer for it, but that's another game to look forward to. My friend Pedro, I think that one will be amazing. I also what's the next game? The next game
The Red
the
Lantern.
Red Lantern took me by surprise from the Nindies showcase. It's based on something that apparently exists in I don't know if it's in Nunavut or Iqaluit or if it's in Yukon, but it's a sleigh race that they have every year. Apparently, it's a very very hard and demanding race. Apparently, it's real, but it's based on that, and it seems like an adventure game, and it looks just awesome. And I believe the girl that was doing the voice seems like a famous actress, if I recall. Which, if she isn't, well, she was pretty good anyway. It was making the game feel even more better. But there's a scene in there where you're riding this sleigh, and a bear comes out of the woods and attacks the dogs, and I think you have a gun, so that there's probably some shooting in the midst of the game. Also, it just looks fantastic. So the Red Lantern is one I'm going to be keeping an eye out. And the last one I wrote, I'll let you talk about it.
Yeah, that was the weird one. So I'm watching the the presentation or whatever, and this was totally spoiled for me. I don't know if it was spoiled by
Yeah,
you or it was by you.
yeah.
Okay, because also I got like 10,000 Twitter like people on Twitter were just like bombarding me with messages and stuff. But basically, I'm watching this thing and I'm like, what the hell is this? And it looks like a rhythm based dungeon crawler. And the person's talking like there's like a narrative that goes over it and saying, but like, this time I'm in some strange land and I'm not alone. And I knew right away, like because you had already like told me, but it was so obvious. I watched a couple of reaction videos and I'm like, it always amazes me how these so-called fans like don't know what do. Like, how do you not know what that is if you're a Zelda fan? Like, how's that possible? So I'm watching these reaction videos and I'm seeing people, they're like, hey, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. I'm like, yeah, it sounds familiar, you dumbass. So me right away, I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like with the dialogue and the way you like the Zelda music slowly starts to pick up, and then of course it's basically an indie. Uh, I don't know what we call this. That's the problem. I don't know
I
what
think
what
it's a
this.
rhythm action game.
Okay,
I don't
and
know.
yeah, I don't know either, but it basically it's got like it's using a very similar style to A Link to the Past visuals. But like you said, it's like this rhythm action game featuring Link and Zelda and like a lot of the they're basically in Hyrule. That's essentially it. So whatever, I don't know anything about this series or the previous game or anything,
Yeah, it's
but
weird because I think it's Crypt of the Necromancer, the series is, and you call it a series, but I believe it was their first game
oh,
ever.
okay,
And it got glorious reviews, and on their second game, Nintendo gave them the Zelda license. So
yeah.
this doesn't happen often that an indie developer gets that much like trust on their second game. So apparently Crypt and the Necromancer, and it's on the Switch too, and then I've never played it. I probably should. But it's
Yeah,
apparently
no.
a very good game.
Well, I was just really surprised, more or less exactly like you, because it's like, wow, like this really doesn't happen often, this kind of stuff, like ever. So cool. I mean, it looks awesome if I do say so myself. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say about it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm just really surprised. I this is rare, this is really really rare for them to do something like this. So I'm hoping that this does really well, and maybe we get to see some more stuff like this. Because why not, right?
Yeah, and for those of you curious, the name of the game is Cadence of Hyrule. I believe the
Yep.
subtitle is Crypt of the Dancer. So be on the lookout for that. Looks really awesome. And did they announce a release date? I believe they did, or did they just said
Oh, I'd
spring?
have to check. Hold on a sec. Cadence of Hyrule release date. Dun dun dun. No,
No, okay.
spring
Yeah, so they
2019.
said spring, so that's
So
before
basically
summer.
right
So
now.
so it'd be soon.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Seriously, it looks absolutely awesome. And I have no idea how, like, I know nothing of this. So, but just visually, I'm like, oh, this is so sick. I love sprite-based games, and if I didn't make that clear, it's a sprite-based game. So I'm super stoked. I love the trees. I miss A Link to the Past, man. I really do. And I know that we've had remakes and we've had, well, not remakes, but we've had like A Link Between Worlds and things like that. But there is just something magical about A Link to the Past. All right. So next up, I guess I can talk about this. Nintendo just, I think actually maybe today or yesterday, they just actually said what the next batch of games in the Nintendo Online service, like the NES games, are going to be. And they're going to be Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, also known as Super Mario Bros. 2. That was originally released on the Famicom Disk System way back when. Punch Out, not Mike Tyson's, of course, those days are long over, and Star Soldier, which is part of the Soldier series, which is an awesome series, and they're all going to launch in just a couple of days, 7 days, on April 10th. My last day of school being April 12th. I'm so excited. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. Have you ever played the original? Because this is going to be the original. Have you ever played the original Super Mario Bros. 2, or you only played the Lost Levels as they were in Super Mario All-Stars?
I don't know how this came out, but we did rent an NES copy of Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels, which doesn't make sense because I don't believe this was ever released here, right?
No,
So
no, not officially.
it must have been that the guy had a pirated copy of the Japanese version. I don't know how back in the days, but we did play Mario Lost Levels on my NES. I remember that as a kid.
Wow.
So
Because
yes,
like it was never even released on the NES. It
yeah.
was only released on the at least yeah, no, I don't think it ever made it out on the Famicom. I think it was only hold on, let me check. Super Mario 2 Famicom. Let's see if it was ever released. I don't think so, because I know like towards the end
So you
they
think it
were
was only released on the Famicom disc?
yeah,
Yeah.
because I know at the end of the NES, not the NES, but the Famicom, they started to release some of those
Okay.
games via Famicom. Um,
Well, were
anyways,
were
whatever.
hacks common back there, back in the early '90s?
Not that I remember, and I'm in a big city, but
Because I remember my mom renting the game, and
that's wild.
it. I remember because I was playing on the NES, and I was finding weird that like there was mushrooms that were poison mushrooms that would hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe it was even called Super Mario Bros. 4. Like, it was obviously a fake game, but it was the last level. So I don't remember. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, no, it was never re-released. It was only ever released June 3rd, 1986 on the Famicom Disk System. It was the most successful Famicom Disk System ever. Cool. Okay, anyways, interesting, because, like, for me, this is the first time I'll be able to check this out. Oh, no, it may have been released, now I'm thinking about it. It may have been released on a Virtual Console. That's
It
possible.
was also part of the Super Mario Deluxe game on the Game Boy Color.
There you go. Okay, so that's it. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, I may have actually checked this out. Anyways, okay, cool. So that's that. The next one I want you to talk about, our next little point here, because I don't know anything about this.
Okay, well, can you read it for me? Because I don't have the
Look at this
I
guy.
don't have the
This
email in front of me.
this guy is something else, people. He's something else. He gives me so much shit for not being prepared and stuff. He wrote me an email with what we're going to talk about, and he has no idea what we're going to talk
Oh,
about.
you're supposed to be the host, damn it. Host it up.
Unbelievable. And I don't even know where you found this news. It has something to do with Zelda and Best Buy.
Yeah. Yeah, there was 3 games yesterday leaked from Best Buy, and these usually don't always happen to be true, but I don't remember what the first 2 games were. They were pretty big games as well, but as soon as I saw this one, I was like, I went out of my mind. But it's The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, listed for the Switch for Best Buy. So basically, we assume that Nintendo is planning. Let me see if I can find this. We assume that Nintendo is planning to do a similar treatment to A Link to the Past, as they
Where
are
did you see this news?
as they are with Link's Awakening. Let me see.
Like, I don't see this anywhere.
I just want to make sure. Did I see this yesterday, or did I see this Monday? Because if I saw that Monday, it could have been April's Fools, but I believe it was yesterday.
Well, let me just, here, I'll Google Best Buy Link to the Past rumor. Best Buy leaks Metroid Prime trilogy, A Link to the Past for Switch,
Oh, yeah,
April
that's
2nd.
right. Yeah, so it's not an April Fool's. Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, so the other one was Metroid Prime Trilogy, but that one we've known forever. It's probably not out because Metroid Prime 4 has been delayed for many years. I think if it wasn't for the case, I think they want to release the trilogy obviously closer to the release of Metroid Prime 4. But Link to the Past, it seems real to me. They're remastering or remaking Link's Awakening for 2019. So if they're going to do that, they're probably going to keep the engine, and they're probably going to do the same thing for Link to the Past, which I don't know how you feel about it. For me, it's awesome. It's going to be a new excuse to play the game, but I don't know if I want such a classic to be changed visually, but we'll see. How do you feel?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm okay with Link's Awakening. Link to the Past, I don't know. This is the first I hear of this, right? So I'm kind of like,
This is all rumors. There's nothing.
Yeah. I know. I'm just, it's weird because I'm one of these guys that, like, any excuse to go back and play that I think could be interesting. Also, it could be very interesting to get the proper translation. I think that in and of itself could be very, very, very interesting, because if you guys don't know, Dan Olsen did a real garbage job with the translation of Triforce of the Gods, which is A Link to the Past. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, so no, I mean, any excuse to go back and play it. I'm actually in withdrawal because I haven't played that now since we did the stream. I have not actually gone back and played that.
That's been 2 years, right?
Yeah, maybe more. I don't know. It's been a while, and I like to have an afternoon where I just go and play through that because there's something magical about that particular game. There really is. There's just something about it that brings me back. And maybe it's nostalgia, maybe whatever, but I just find that the best controlling, best playing action RPG ever made. And to this day, I have found that no Zelda has ever been able to match that because it came out at the perfect time. The like again, this is me. This is just for me. Ocarina of Time was close. It was close in the feeling that it gave me, but the problem with it was I found it was a Me Too game. Like it was too similar to A Link to the Past. And again, this is just me, but I just found that the split timeline stuff and all of that, it just felt very much like it was trying to be A Link to the Past. But anyway, A Link to the Past is my favorite video game of all time. So if they are going to remake this, that could be superb. I'm not sure about the visual style. I'd have to I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what happens. But I mean, just the fact that I could have a chance to go and play it again, and they would obviously change things around. It wouldn't be. It's not. It's just like Link's Awakening. It's not going to be a one-to-one port that just looks prettier. That would be pointless if they do that. So I think it's going to be. This could be very interesting. And I'm actually, part of me is kind of hoping, just to the other rumor, that Metroid Prime actually happens, the trilogy. And I understand, I get it, that Metroid Prime 4 is coming out in like 2046, but I have not played 3D Metroid now basically since the GameCube, like really gotten into it, and I I
I've
don't even
never even
remember.
played Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. Never even
Yeah,
played
I
it.
played it. I played it on the Wii, but I hated the control setup, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I would love to actually go back because the truth is, I barely remember what those games are even like. Like to me, it'd be almost like a brand new experience. Like it's
Hmm.
been so long that if they do have a remaster of that, I would rather them release that sooner rather than later, only because it's 3 games, and I'd actually like to go through each one of them. I don't want them to release that 6 months before Prime 4, where I just don't have time to go through all 3 of them. But that's me. That's just me. So that's that. Now you have a bunch of other stuff. You have any other comments for that, or we'll move on to why you think 2019 is going to be the greatest year ever?
No, I think I hope I actually hope these rumors are true, that we get a remake of A Link to the Past, but at the same time that would maybe remove the chance of us getting the A Link to the Past added to the Nintendo service, the classic one. I believe if they are remaking this one, I don't think they'll be releasing it. That would be a shame because I also would like to play A Link to the Past on my Switch. Hopefully, sometimes before I retire. It seems they're not really in a hurry to release their library, but they should. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know what's going on with that, man.
that
I
would.
really don't know what's going on.
I think what's going on is they're gonna announce a partnership with Microsoft, man. And all their games will be available there too. At least their retro games. That would be
I'm
amazing.
I'm down with that.
But
I'm cool with that. But do it. Like it's I hate this not having access to like some of my favorite games of all time is truly starting to piss me off. Like, and the SNES Classic is not one to one. Like there were glitches in the ROM for A Link to the Past, and I showed you guys in the stream. I'm like, this is not supposed to happen. When you get hit, Link is not supposed to be invisible. You know what I mean? He's not supposed to completely disappear where you can't even see him for like three
was
seconds and
the
then he
was
appears.
the 3DS version also did it also have this glitch?
I'd have to check. I don't know off the top of my head. I don't remember. But like that. Now, again, it's possible, let's be fair, it is possible that there's some sort of something happening between my SNES Classic and the capture card, it is possible that that's where the issue is. That if I just connected it to the TV, everything would be fine. But still, like, it's annoying because when A Link to the Past, when I originally did my review for A Link to the Past, I believe. No, now I think about it, I'm not sure if I used the SNES. I think I did though. I think I used the
No,
original,
I think
like my.
you used the Wii U port. No?
Did I? Did
Yeah, I
I?
believe you did.
Shit.
Maybe
Okay.
you didn't. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, whatever the case may be, um, it's just annoying that I don't have access to this stuff. This is what's really like it's annoying. Super Metroid and A Link to the Past, they absolutely should be available on everything. And I find it so stupid that in 2019 that I have to dig out a Super Nintendo or a Wii U or a Wii or something like this. It doesn't make any sense. It's like these games should be available for every generation always. And if they can't figure out a way of doing that, like, figure it out. Because this is, to me, this is utterly ridiculous.
No, I think they're working on that. I hope they are. I hope they are rather because I think they really need to solidify their online platforms to make it like a platform that will be there in 10 years so they don't have to constantly re-release stuff. And I think they're working
Mm-hmm.
on that because like Sony last year, I believe, made more money with their PlayStation Network than the Nintendo and Microsoft online platforms combined, I believe. That's what they said. Like the future is digital and Sony is making so much cash right now with the PlayStation Network. And so is
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo. Nintendo is as well with their online thing. It used to be called the eShop. I think maybe it's still that, but whatever it is, and it would make sense for them to offer games that people want to buy. And I know that the problem with that is that they usually want to release like a few games at a time because that way they're not hidden, they don't get lost in translation. But I don't think it matters. I think with the classic library that they have, if they put all their NES, SNES catalog in there, eventually the GameCube stuff, the N64 stuff, eventually like people will always be on lookout for those no matter the day. So
Yep.
it doesn't matter that they release like 1,000 games on one day, whatever. If they make the entire catalog available, like I know they won't sell all at this on the same day, but eventually they will keep selling those games every single day for infinity. So
Yeah.
they
No,
really
but
should.
it's the truth, dude. It's the truth. Like, it's just it's annoying now. Like I can go right now and watch my favorite movies. I can. If they're not available on Netflix, they're gonna be available somewhere. You know what I mean? Like I can go and watch them with ease today. But the fact that I can't go with ease and play A Link to the Past, I find really stupid. And I know people are going to be like, buy this NES Classic and stuff like that. And yeah, I have one. But is that really with ease? You know what I mean? I'm playing on their modern console, like their latest console, and I don't have access. Like I don't know. I find it. I don't know. I'm hoping that they figure this out because like you say this and like I say this is just stupid. But anyway, all right. So why is 2019 look sick?
It's just because of the like the library that Nintendo is going to be offering for the Switch. I've just listed a few games there. Like for me, Mario Maker 2, Fire Emblem, Animal Crossing, and Pokemon. Like just one of these releases, especially Pokemon and Animal Crossing, and even Mario Maker 2. Let's be honest, Mario Maker 2 is going to consume my life. These are games that I would be happy to play for a whole year, and I'm getting all three this year. So, and Mario Maker 2, I believe, is soon in June, right?
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome. Animal Crossing, we still don't have a release date, and so with Pokemon, so I hope they're not too close to each other because I'm hoping that we get lost into Animal Crossing.
Oh,
I want
I
us
I count on it.
to resume our little dates and our little dance sessions at the club and our penis flags and our
Oh, you have
love
no idea, man.
triangles and stuff like that. That would be awesome because it's such
Oh,
an easy game to play. You don't have to invest much time into it. You can play as little or as much as you want to. I just love it. That game is awesome. I don't know. I can't wait for that.
I assure you, I'm already preparing. I've been drawing dick pics everywhere. Like, no, it's gonna seriously. When they announced that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be 85 years old and still laughing like a lunatic at this. And what's so great about it is it's actually the perfect game for me to play right now because I don't have much time. So I can log in, go to the town, Maxville, as you call it, and I can I can just do, find a
Do you
few
have
fossils or
access
something.
to
And
Wi-Fi at your work? Oh, yeah, you do because you're on Wi-Fi right now, so you'll be able to.
yeah, but unfortunately, no, it doesn't work that way. The university put safeguards in
Okay,
place,
so you can't.
consoles,
Yeah.
and yeah, no, you can't. Unfortunately, they're a bunch of douchebags. It's so stupid too because your iPhone and your iPad and all this kind of stuff, they allow you to like log into the network, but the 3DS and stuff like that, nope. And I'm like, that's so stupid. But anyway, I fully agree with you, man. Like, just for me, honestly, like Fire Emblem, I think is gonna be sick. I haven't played like a console Fire Emblem in what feels like forever. Animal Crossing, like we just said, is gonna be sick. Pokemon's gonna be awesome. But let's also not forget that like Link's Awakening is coming
Yep.
out. That's gonna be awesome. You put other stuff like Wolfenstein Youngblood. You've got Dragon Quest Builders 2, which that was
That
awesome.
comes out on
That
my
was so
birthday.
awesome. For
Yeah,
real?
July 12th. Yeah, that's
Nice.
gonna be awesome.
That is honestly. I mean, I'm not gonna go through it again. That doesn't make any sense. Well, we'll see, right? Depends. It depends on what else is out at around that time. But yeah, I invested a crazy amount of hours into
Yeah,
that,
I look,
and I
your
absolutely love it.
gameplay time says 70
Yeah,
hours too. And you didn't
yeah,
stream a
man.
single day, you
No,
bastard.
because unfortunately, I know, man. Because unfortunately, that's
Now
the
I'm
the
stuck
the
listening to
beauty.
Tim's streams. Damn you.
I know, I know.
Joking
And they're
aside,
just
though,
not the
he's
same.
been doing a good job on that.
I
Props to
know.
him.
Yeah.
I love watching his streams and I find him hilarious and I hope he
Well,
continues.
he's hilarious in particular because he never finishes
No.
anything. That's what's so funny with him. Like Dragon Quest, it's hilarious. Like you said the other day, what, like 9 or 10 videos, and it's like, dude, you you should be it should be over. Like it should be completely done by now.
Yeah, and I
But
hear
whatever.
the last stream I watched, he was saying at the beginning he was supposed to stream Dragon Quest, but then he said, "Oh, there's already enough Dragon Quest content on the channel. Like, there's always an excuse." And I
Yeah,
texted him. I
exactly.
said, there can never be enough Dragon Quest content on this channel. Are you crazy? People love Dragon Quest here.
Yeah, exactly, man. Are you like I mean people flipped out when Dragon Quest X returned. I got so many messages and from like well-wishers and stuff. It was awesome. So yes, you can never, never have. And I know that Builders 2 would have been a phenomenal success. It would have been a huge success. But that's the downside. That's the blessing and the curse of the Switch. So the blessing is that I actually get to experience this. Where like if this was only on PS4, never would have played it. Just never would have happened. But on the Switch, it's like I can take it with me. So I can play at lunch at work. I can play for, 10, 15 minutes, especially the new one. This one like allows you to save anywhere. So you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So that's it's awesome, man. Anyways, you also put in Luigi's Mansion
Yeah, I was
3.
just talking about
Uh,
possible 2020 games because I don't think at
yeah,
this point Luigi's Mansion 3 is coming out this year, although they still haven't
I don't think so.
made it official. But I think it wouldn't make sense. They need to keep some games for next year. And like I said, like the remake of A Link to the Past that's rumored might be out next year. A new
Hmm.
2D Mario would make sense since they've. And speaking of 2D Mario, I finished New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe last week, I believe. Really
No,
fun
nice.
game. I didn't do everything, because I've already played the heck out of that game on the Wii U, and I did not feel like I just wanted to basically check out the new features, which were pretty much just Peachette. So I played with Toadette, and she gets this new ability where she can turn into Peach for some reason. And I had fun with the game. I still think it's a pretty fun game. I Like I said, shouldn't have been released. Should have been a new 2D Mario, but whatever the case may be, I believe they should have one for next year. I hope they do. I hope maybe they abandon the new Super Mario Brothers series. Maybe they start a new one. And yeah, so 2020 should have a lot of good games too. I don't think we'll have the case where 2017 was a fantastic year with Mario, Zelda, and Splatoon for the Switch, and then we had 2018, which was Port City, a very disappointing year, and then 2019, which looks to be even better than 2017 in my opinion. So I think 2020 will not be the disappointment 2018 was, but I think they'll continue on with this, and can't wait to see what they have to announce.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick. We should also start to get in 2020. Should start to get the rumblings of the next Zelda, which should be quite interesting to see, like what they do after Breath of the Wild. I'm
Yeah,
very
I'm
curious.
pretty sure. I assume Breath of the Wild was a pretty expensive game to make. I'm pretty sure they're gonna use that engine to make a sequel, probably.
Oh, absolutely,
So I would expect
absolutely.
something very similar to Breath of the Wild in terms of gameplay style. So probably we'll get the Majora's Mask to occur enough time kind of game.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So before we
All
move
right,
on to Blast from the Past, just want to talk a bit about some wrestling because I didn't want to talk about this in
wrestling.
the beginning because I didn't want to scare people away. But this will be released on the day of WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania weekend this weekend. I'm really, really, really excited about it. So, are you going to be watching that? Of course you are, right?
Oh yeah, I haven't watched WrestleMania since Hulk Hogan took on Andre the Giant.
Oh yeah,
I think that was WrestleMania
that
2,
was
but whatever.
WrestleMania 3. He actually took on King
Sorry.
Kong Bundy in WrestleMania 2. Know your facts,
There you
damn
go.
it.
Sorry. I apologize profusely.
No, but the WrestleMania show this weekend actually will probably suck, to be honest. There's only like 2 or 3 matches that I'm really excited about, but the thing that's really making the rounds, the media rounds right now, is that it will be the first ever women's main event. Like the main event, the last match of the card will actually be Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, which is the match I'm most excited to see actually. So it's kind of a quick turnaround because the last time I was watching wrestling, like I've said before, was in the early 2000s. Basically, when they turned Steve Austin heel, I stopped watching, and I just came back last year at SummerSlam. And it's funny because back then women were treated not very well. They had like 2 or 3 minute matches, and it was basically like bra and panties type of matches. And now they're gonna main event WrestleMania, and Becky Lynch is actually the most popular wrestler they have right now. So it's really glad to see how much times have changed, and that's just I just wanted to quickly mention that. And the Friday show, the NXT show, that one has 5 matches, and all those matches will be awesome. So if any of you guys are wrestling fans, I just thought I'd talk about it quickly. Now you can go on with your blast from the past.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Wrestling. No, no, I'm there's gonna be like 1,000 people like, oh my god, it's gonna be the greatest day ever. Some blast from the past is a good one. It's a weird one in the sense that I can't believe I've never spoke about this before, but I recently watched the trailer to Streets of Rage 4, and it brought back memories of that genre, which today, I don't know, like Streets of Rage 4, I honestly have no idea how that's going to turn out. Like, got no clue. It, like, really got no clue, because it could be a biblical disaster in the sense that it just gets repetitive and boring. But back in the day, man, I used to put in so many quarters into the arcade for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like, all the time. And, well, when the SNES came out and we got, at the time, what I considered a arcade perfect port of Turtles in Time, I remember going to my friend Anthony's house, and the two of us, man, in co-op just beat the living hell out of that game over and over and over again. And I remember that one move where you could like spin the enemy around and throw him into the screen. Now I thought that was like the coolest thing I had ever seen before. And it was one of those games where I was like, it can't get better than this, you know? Like this is it. We've reached the climax of gaming. Gaming will never get better.
You were right.
Graphics can't get better. Exactly, right? That's what I thought. And I mean, never did I imagine The Last of Us would be possible. Let's put it that way. Like that
What's
was
The Last of Us?
never. Yeah, exactly.
That's coming out this year too. Damn. That would
Is
be
it?
awesome. Yeah, well, it's supposed to. It's supposed to be coming out this year.
That's no
That's a
good.
game I don't care. I'm not missing.
Oh man, that's no good. That's no good. Because I'll still be in school. I was hoping that was going to be delayed into next year.
School can wait, man. School
Shoot.
can wait.
I'll never forget that never. I will never forget the opening of The Last of
Yeah.
Us.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Like,
you're right.
man, that that to this day, I use that as for anyone that's like, oh, gaming is for a bunch of children and this and that. I show them that, and most of them, if they're not crying, they're just like, what the hell did I just like witness?
Oh my
That's
God. That game
amazing.
is a perfect 10 in my book.
Yeah, seriously.
And you
Honestly,
gave it
that
a 9.8, you monster.
yeah, well, it's the way I roll.
No, but that game was amazing. That's why I never like when people like I don't like Uncharted as much as everybody else, but Naughty Dog made The Last of Us, which I will forever be grateful for, even though they did not do that for me. It's just like,
They
man,
did.
what
They did
a
it just for you.
game! Like I don't care about stories in video games, but when it comes to Last of Us, like I'm full of shit. That game, the gameplay is awesome. The story is perfect. Everything mends together. I don't know, like peanut butter and jelly, man. That's the game. That's your Link to the Past. That's Last of Us for me. That's a game I can play at any moment and be hooked into it and beat it again. It's just so perfectly done from the start to the finish. They keep grabbing you with emotions, and they never give you like the moment of joy that you want until the end. And even that's debatable. For me it was, but that's debatable because I'm a psychopath. But yeah, it's a really awesome game. Sadly, I don't think that the second part will be as good, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
me too. No, me too. Me too. This is one of the ones where, and I even said it. I even said it where it was like there are games where I feel there shouldn't be a part
Oh yeah,
two.
definitely. I don't think a sequel was warranted here. I think, but
Yeah.
c'est la vie, man. If it's a good game, I won't cry about it.
Oh no, me too, right? And I think absolutely there's potential within the universe, right? Like I mean, it's like The Walking Dead and stuff like that. Like I get it. I totally get it. And also sold gangbusters, so I understand all that. I'm just saying like to me there are games where they really had a profound impact on me for one reason or another. Another one that generation that really got me was
Yeah, I knew you were gonna
BioShock.
say that. I was
Yeah, I
listening
know. I know.
to a Knockback episode. Do you listen to Knockback?
Dude, I don't listen to anything
Okay, because
anymore.
Knockback is made by Colin and Dagan Moriarty, and they basically talk about anything from the past or present, whatever. And they did an entire episode of BioShock, dedicated on BioShock, and it's like an hour and 30 minutes. And man, it was amazing, and it made me want to replay the game because, unlike you, BioShock did not grasp me as much as it did you. And I think the reason for that is because I'm dumb. Like, I'm stupid. I don't know. Because BioShock is very much a story driven game, also, but it's all like audio logs and stuff like that. But I don't think I understood the story as much as most people do. I think I'm too dumb to understand the depths of the political uh, stuff going on in there and what happened. I don't think I understand most of it, and I just played the game, so I liked it. But for me, it wasn't like a Last of Us experience. But I think it's just because I'm dumb. Because from what I've
Well,
hear, like just listening to Colin describing all the characters and all the like the plot and what happens, I was like, wow, this makes me want to go back and play the game. So It's probably just me who's too stupid to enjoy a game like
Well,
that.
I don't know, dude. No, no, no. I mean, don't don't belittle yourself. It's for me. It wasn't even. I mean, yes, the story, yes, okay, it definitely was superb, but it was Rapture. That's what did it to me. Was this perfect, utopia that had just fallen into disarray. I still go on YouTube and watch some of the teaser trailers for it, and I'm like, man, like I don't know. I don't know why. I honestly don't know why, but that was the first one of that generation to blow me away. Like just it took storytelling and atmosphere to like a whole other level. And I find it awesome because I find it such a good bookend for that generation where it's like it started with BioShock for me and it ended with The Last of Us. And it was like those two games are what make that generation to me. You could throw out everything else, all your Halos, all your Call of Duties, all that. For me, those two games are what represented that generation, and they did it better than anyone else. But again, that's just my opinion. So for my blast for the past was Turtles in Time, was BioShock, and The Last of Us.
Yeah, and they should release Bioshock on the Switch. Damn it, they should.
Yeah, man, seriously, what's up with that? 2K, get on that because what's up with that?
What did they recently release? 2K. They recently released something for the Switch. Man, I was just looking at it yesterday. Oh, I forgot it. But it was like
For Switch?
Yeah,
Well, didn't they do the Vegas, not the
yeah,
Vegas,
LA
but
Noir.
the LA
Yeah,
game?
LA
Yeah.
Noir like 2 years ago. But I believe they released another port recently, or maybe they didn't. Maybe I'm just full of it.
Oh, well, let's see. Are there any rumors for
No,
BioShock
I
on
don't think
Switch?
there are because they released the collection. Was it last year they released the collection for the
Yeah,
PS4
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and the Xbox
yeah.
One? And it's like those are all Xbox 360, PS3 games. So I believe they could probably make it work on the Switch.
Oh, absolutely, they could make it work, man. There's no reason. Yeah, I would love to revisit. See, that's another one. See, this is one of the issues that I have with this industry. And it's been an issue I've had with this industry for a long time is I it's not like movies and stuff because like with movies it's like you always have access, right? Like you always have access to this stuff. But with games it's like once a generation's over, it's over. And unless you have that hardware, and yeah, I know in recent times we've been getting a lot of remasters and stuff like that, but it's still like it sucks. I really want something like a
Yeah,
Netflix where you
I
have
believe the
access.
best company doing that is Microsoft because on the
They
Xbox One
are.
X you can get the Game Pass, and I believe like there's a huge library of Xbox 360 and Xbox original games available on the
Yep.
Xbox One, and I
Yep.
think they're adding more every week, every month. And I think if you're a real huge Xbox fans, like you have access to most of the games. Even if I'm not mistaken, even Knights of the Old Republics are available on that, which would be hard with the licensing fees, but I think they are. I might be because
Yeah,
I know
see,
they're
man,
available
like
with they're backwards compatible, and when they're backward compatible, that means that you put your Xbox sticks in it and you download it, and you can purchase them without the disc. So, yeah, they're on there. So,
what is it? It's Game Pass?
yeah, there is Game Pass, but I'm not sure if Game Pass has all of the games included in there. But
Well, I'm looking right now. Yes. Yeah, check this out. Xbox Game Pass in June on June 2nd, okay? It got Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Lego Star Wars, Star Wars The Force Unleashed, and Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2. So yeah, the Old Republic is on there. Wow, man. Wow.
yeah, that's
Wow.
amazing. Like they're really doing
Yeah,
a
it
great
is
job,
amazing.
like preserving their library and getting
Yep.
access to fans because people are spending money. If you give them what,
But
yeah,
yeah, man.
that's
Like Ahmed sent me a text the other day, and the other day could be last month, last year, I don't know, I don't remember exactly when, but he was telling me how like there was some patent or something for the PlayStation 5 that was referencing backwards compatibility all the way back to like the PlayStation 1, and he was like, how awesome would that be? And I was like, well, yeah, yes, okay, it's not like it would be bad, but I would much rather them today like do the Xbox route, and I
No,
know
I
a
think
lot of
that's what
people
they
that listen.
meant. I don't think they meant
I
that
hope
you
that's
can
what they
have your
meant
PlayStation
because
1 disc, put it in your PlayStation 5. I think what they meant was that probably your PS4 games will work, but the rest of the catalog will be available digitally. I don't think you can put your PS2 and your PS1 games in your PS5 and they will work. I think maybe it will
oh
be
well,
like the Xbox, and if you have them, you can download them. Although I don't know, we'll see.
yeah, it's just because like the reason why I say that is like there are very few people like me that I would imagine that still have all their original games easily accessible. Like I doubt that very much, you know. But there are certain ones that I would love to
Yeah,
go
but
back
even
to.
if you do, you'll have to download them. You know, so
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
means
yeah,
they
and
will
that's
be on
cool.
a
That's cool.
digital service available
Yeah,
for everybody for purchase,
and I
which would be
want, and I,
smart.
damn right. I mean, because like now, Sony's gotten to a point where their backlog, and when I say they, I don't mean Sony as the company, but I meant those systems hold some truly remarkable games that should be preserved. Like you should be able to go back and play Chrono Cross if you want, Xenogears and stuff like that. And I understand like Gran Turismo, I get it, right? I get it. Music, there's some issues, and like the cars themselves, there's issues. I get all that. I truly do. I get that. And unfortunately, like those games, I doubt you'll ever be able to plop a disc in and play them ever again outside of the original hardware just because of those licensing issues and stuff. And I understand that. I understand it sucks, but I understand that. But I don't understand it when it comes to role playing games, platformers, action games, stuff like that. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. You should be able to get access to your library, or at least a good chunk of them. I know that like some of them will be lost forever, but still, man, I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyways, okay, we've been going on forever. We got to wrap this up, and I got to actually get to work.
Yeah, so wrap it up.
And yeah, come on, man. Jeez. All right, so thank you everybody for checking us out, and we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do because we're getting dangerously close to when I'm gonna be leaving. So Stephen and I will have to figure something out. I think during those 10 days that I have off before I go to Asia, I think we're gonna probably have to do, instead of doing like reviews and stuff like that, I may have to focus more on podcasts so that you guys have some content for when I'm gone. But we'll figure that out. And in the meantime, have an excellent couple of weeks, everyone. We'll catch you next time.